no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Use hashtag Raiders to get your questions here on the show. Jared Stevenson, what do we do with Guenther if Marinelli takes over at defensive coordinator? I mean, if that happens, Paul Guenther's gone. Like, he's going to get fired. I mean, the Raiders' defense has not been good since, like, 2002. The last time we were top 20 in both yards against and points against was 2010. That's a long time ago. I was a junior in high school. Yeah, really, really long time ago. Let's go to the next question here, where we got Nicholas Rosales, and I do see some questions in there about Dalvin Cook, so maybe we can get one of those up. Isaiah Johnson, being that number 2 maybe. I think Isaiah Johnson has the ability to. I mean, when he first came out of Houston, he's very long and lanky, a lot of athletic ability, but he's still very raw. And I think when you see what the Raiders did in terms of going out and signing Amik Robertson, in terms of going out and drafting Damon Arnett in round 1, I think that they have a little bit of cause for concern as well for Isaiah taking that next step. When I look at all the Raiders cornerbacks, I think Johnson is kind of like that CB4. He's going to battle it out a little bit with Nevin Lawson. Now, Isaiah does kind of have a step up on Lawson because, remember, Lawson is suspended for game 1 because he got a little bit heated. He swung his helmet in week 17, and, now he's suspended for week 1. But if he can stay healthy, if he can play well, and if Amik Robertson and Arnett struggle, sure, we could see him there as the CB2, but if our defense is at the absolute best, I say, yeah, I'd rather have him at CB4. Let's go to Mike Clark. What up, Mike? When will Amik take over for Joyner and be the new Honey Badger? Well, him being the new Honey Badger is not going to be an easy thing, right? I mean, Tyrann Mathieu, one of the best defensive players in the National Football League, and I don't know if Amik will ever be the Honey Badger because Amik to me is a slot corner. I don't really see him playing too much of safety like, you see Tyrann being able to do. Now, do I have high hopes for Amik? Absolutely. And as much as I like a Robertson, I'm hoping he doesn't take over for Joyner because I want Joyner to play well. And Joyner can play well. Go back and watch his tape with the Rams. He was one of the best defensive players. I shouldn't say one of the best. Top 30 defensive player maybe in the NFL. Lamarcus Joyner. Let's go to Daniel. What up, Daniel? How much confidence you got with Raiders getting revenge on your dad's New York Jets? I sure hope so because we got a lot of bragging rights. But if we lose 34-3 again to the Jets, it's not going to be pretty. I'm going to be pretty upset. We do play them week 13, I believe, again in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So a lot of bragging rights. But I want everyone, we need to start spamming the Raiders because my dad is watching the show. Or if you want to chant Jets stink, because I think if you chant suck, YouTube will block it. So let's make sure that my dad knows that we're, watching the show. So join the Noti Gang, okay? And I want you guys to never miss a video. The way that you can do that is by clicking the notification bell. What does that do? That basically every time I drop a new video, every single time we go live, you get like a push notification that says, hey, you're going to be able to watch the show. But a lot of times I hear, Mitch, I clicked the bell, I clicked all, why am I not getting a notification? That could actually be more of a, not much of a YouTube problem, but more of a your phone problem. So I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to do that. How you turn on your YouTube notifications on your cell phone. That way you're able to get push notifications so that it just slides up on your phone, basically like a text message, right? So go to the settings app, you click that, then you scroll on down and tap YouTube. It looks like the icon. Then tap notifications, and then you hit turn on allow notifications. So when I go live, when I drop a new video, I don't know if you guys can see my phone, it looks like I got a DM from somebody. That's how it's going to look. It's going to look like you got DMs. Cool? Got it? Turn on your YouTube notice so you never miss a thing. Let's go to the next question here, where we got Raiders going to trade for Cook, elbow cough. I think it was supposed to be an emoji. So I appreciate the question. So are the Raiders going to trade for Dalvin Cook? I personally, if you guys haven't seen it yet, I put it on my rumor show, but I don't think it's a good idea for the Raiders to go out and trade for Cook. Now, he is going to hold out if he doesn't get a new extension because he wants to get paid like a top running back. And even though I think he's very good, I think Dalvin Cook is a top 10 running back. I am not going to give him 13, 14 million. Honestly, I wouldn't give him more than 10 million because I'm not going to pay a running back more than 10 million when you have somebody like Jacobs. And Jacobs is our lead guy. He's our bell cow, and we've already addressed Jalen Richard, gave him 2 years, $7 million. We went out and drafted Bowden. We have Alec Ingold, who's obviously a solid fullback, but we have depth. And I don't think going out and getting Dalvin Cook, paying him probably $13, $14 million, makes a lot of sense for our roster, considering the fact that he's missed 20 games. 20 games in 3 years. Even if you told me he wouldn't miss a single game, honestly, I'm still not going out and trading for Dalvin Cook, but it is a good question. Let's go to Gary. Gary, what up, man? Would you be surprised if Marcus was to start midseason? If so, is Derek's future with the Raiders over? If Marcus Mariota starts for the Raiders and Derek Carr is fully healthy, yes, Derek Carr's career is over, because if you cut Derek, we end up saving about $20 million. And when you look at the Raiders' cap situation for 2021, we have like the fourth worst cap situation in 2021 because we backloaded Rodney Hudson's deal, because of Derek Carr's deal, because Lamarcus Joyner, Tyrell Williams. Now, we can free up a lot of money, right? And if you move on from Derek, Tyrell, and Lamarcus Joyner, I mean, that's $40 million right there. So, like, we can create space. But if Marcus starts middle of the season, yeah, that's the end for Derek. Let's go to the next question here. Remember, use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. We got 700 people watching us live right now. There's a lot of questions coming in. I don't want to miss your question. The easiest way to get your question on the show is a Super Chat. Let's go to Exotic. Do you think the Raiders are going to make the playoffs? I do. I put it on my roster projection. I put it on my prediction video where I had the Raiders going 10-6, but maybe you're new to the channel. Maybe you didn't see it. The way that we do things here, we're a community, and I want you to get your votes in. Will the Raiders make the playoffs in 2020? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. And I don't do this show to be negative, but I do this show to be real. So I want you to be realistic. And the Raiders do have a tough schedule. They travel the fifth most in the NFL. I believe they travel over 20,000 miles. They do only have one game where they travel more than 2,000, but I mean, I'm not surprised, right? We're seeing a lot of yeses. I see Aaron says yes. Robert Lee says yes. Rustin says, oh, yeah. So give me a Y for yes, N for no. Let's keep these votes coming in. Let me get a sip of water. Ugh. It's good stuff. Y for yes, N for no. All right. So if you guys can see below me, 30% off Raiders hats for a limited time only. If you need a new hat, maybe you're going bald, or maybe you just don't like your hair, I can hook you up here. Or if you're just trying to rep your team, we got curved bills, we got snapbacks, we got flat bill hats. You can get these up to 30% off by going to chatsports.com/Raiders hats. Now, that one that you just saw on screen, the white one, that's only $12. So that's a pretty good deal right now. The one that you see on screen there, that one's $19. You can find all these hats. I don't know if there's a single one over $30, but for as low as $12.99, 30% off, limited time. Go get yourself a Raiders hat. It's at chatsports.com/Raiders hats. Comments, descriptions, I got you covered. Let's go to the next question here from Christian. Hey, Mitch. Hey, Christian. How come we don't pick up Terrell Suggs and a elite edge rusher? Are we good on salary cap to afford that? So right now the Raiders have around $9 million in terms of salary cap, right? If we're going to go out and add a elite edge rusher, when I think of elite edge rusher, I think of Jadeveon Clowney, who wants about $15 million, right? Probably even more than that. I don't want Jadeveon Clowney for that type of money. Then you got to look at the next guy available, Everson Griffin. I would rather have Everson Griffin at his price tag than Clowney. However, I don't really see the Raiders doing that because they are still hoping that Arden Key can, well, be the key to the defense. Terrell Suggs, on the other hand, Terrell Suggs is just a name, right? I mean, Terrell has definitely took a big step back in terms of production and overall. And where are we going to put him on the for the like middle linebacker? No, this team wants to be versatile. Terrell Suggs is a run stopper only at this point in his career, so I'll say no. Let's go to GT. GT Auto Works. How do you feel about Aldon Smith's return? I mean, I think at some point everybody deserves a second chance, but he's had multiple chances. If he doesn't make the most of it, then sure, like, it's going to be disappointing to see that he got another opportunity and kind of, threw it away, because in terms of overall stats, production, and ability, when Aldon Smith first came out in the NFL, he was undoubtedly talented. I mean, I believe he had, 19.5 sacks or something crazy like that. Very, very talented. Can he get it done, though? Maybe. I understand it's like once a Raider, always a Raider, but it's really hard to wish anybody in the Cowboys good luck. Let's now go to a super chat from one of my good friends, Kenny. Mitch, love the show. Will Devontae Booker make the team? So, Kenny, I would say to go check out my roster projection video where I break down the 53-man. And there you can see whether or not Devontae Booker makes the team. Like, I get that we went out and signed him. However, I think it's going to be kind of between him and if the Raiders keep 5 running backs, I say yes. If the Raiders end up keeping 4, I'm going to say no. Cool? But you can go check out my rosters video. Let's go to Ramblin'. What up, Ramblin'? Will we trade Carr in the middle of the season for some picks? So the trade deadline is always like what? Like week? I'm trying to think what week it is exactly. It's always like November. It's in October, yeah, my bad. Losing my mind. I'm thinking of the fantasy football trade deadline. Get out of the gutter, Mitch. So, do I think that we could trade Carr middle of the season? I still say no, because the only way that the Raiders end up trading Derek Carr is if, like, things are going bad. And then what do you get for him? You don't really get much. Now, if the Raiders are halfway through the season, they're like, okay, we are not going to keep Derek next year, then honestly, yes, I think then you do trade him, because then you can at least get something instead of it costing you $2.5 million in cap space. So, Derek Carr trade rumors, they ain't going anywhere. Now, if you want to get a shout-out on the show, I've been telling people, hey, give me a follow on Instagram. Also, if you're watching this live, follow me on IG to go have a chance to win a Max Crosby jersey. If you're watching this over the weekend, missed your chance, but you can still get a shout-out by giving me a follow on IG. And I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. So, Raider fan for life gave me a follow. Will do 2. Jacob Ryan 1. Here's some recent followers, and I appreciate everyone that does follow me. I do go to my DMs quite often. I post random stuff on my story, and probably the best way to get in contact with me is through Instagram. We got a super chat coming on. Cesar, what up, man? Yo, Mitch, what's good, bro? What's good, Cesar? What are you drinking today? Taco Tuesday. Will Carr step up this season, and will we make the playoffs? Taco Tuesday. Tom's doing that in the background. I'm drinking water. Now, I did say if I hit 48K subs by the end of the live show, I'll do a shot, and I think we have Fireball back there. So I'll do that. But Cesar, everyone, if you're over 21, let me know what you're drinking. And Friday shows, I drink a lot. So if you want to see me drink, tune into our Friday live show, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Let's go to Raider J. Everyone wish Raider J a happy birthday. That rhymed. Mitch, do you think, I almost thought that said OB3. Quarterback 3 makes the 53. I think that spot can be used better for someone else. So I actually like that you bring up this point, right? So the reason why I say that they do keep Nathan Peterman at this point is because in the case of an injury, I know Gruden has a lot of confidence in Peterman. But if you do want to keep an extra wide receiver, let's just say like a Rico Gafford or maybe another guard or maybe a center behind, Hudson, don't keep Peterman because you do have Lynn Bowden, who did play some quarterback at Kentucky, and in case of like a, break in case of emergency, you could put him at quarterback. So in case Carr, in case Mario were to go down, I think that's the solution. But we'll do more 53-man roster projection videos before the season starts. Let's go to Raider Joker. Do you think Markel Lee, I'm bad at spelling it, and that's not even close, can be a starter for us? Do I think he can be? Yes, right? I mean, when you look at 2018, he was second in tackles behind only Tahir Whitehead. I believe he had 68. Last season, he had only 11, but really kind of got banged up, wasn't able to play. Now, I think he'll battle it out with Nicholas Morrow, and he'll even battle it out with Tanner Muse a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if Muse ended up winning the position because, honestly, I think he's the most versatile and most talented. But to play it safe, can Lee be a starter? Yeah, he can. But he's got to beat out Morrow. He needs to be able to show that he can stay healthy, and he needs to be able to show a little bit more versatility because that's really where he struggled. Let's go to GT. GT's second question on today's show. To make sure that you guys can get on the show, use hashtag Raiders, or you can super chat. And producer Dylan in my ears tell me this will be the last question. So if you want to get on the show, super chat right now. Can't wait to see the Bama boys, Ruggs and Jacobs, in action. Totally agree. I'm excited to see what Jacobs is able to do with some outside speed and with some more talent. And I'm hoping Ruggs can stay healthy. I'm hoping he can be dynamic, and I'm hoping overall it's a very, very successful upcoming season. So, all right, if I missed your question, follow and DM me on Instagram. I am at Mitchell Renz 365, and we had a lot of questions on today's show. If you want to get on real quick, you can super chat, but I will go on right after this, and I will check my DM. So go ahead, hit me up. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.